Not today, Savage Strike Cave Cricket. Shall not one-shot me today. Hello there, I'm TheNightmareDuke, and welcome to another Fallout 76 video, where today we are looking at a build that will turn you into an absolute unit of a tank, and your enemies are going to be finding it hard to kill you in any situation. As I've said, doing a whole bunch of vids in August, so if you're interested in seeing something specific and it would make a cool vid, then leave it down in the comments. Got this one from one of the comments. Basically a build I use 99% of the time, but I just beefed it up even more for the vid. So yeah, let's just leave these robots alone who clearly can't kill us and go over the key points of the build itself. So the comment specifically asked for excavator and a vampire's weapon, and that's what I use anyway, so it fit perfectly. We are rocking a full excavator set here, all overeaters pieces, and that's the first and main component. Overeaters, really strong effect, especially for your power armor, gives you a percentage reduction towards damage, which is great. Other pieces here aren't perfectly guard rolled, but if you can get pieces with like explosive damage reduction and reduced damage while sprinting, it's only going to make things even better. And having pieces with AP refresh is always a great option. Then the next main part of the power armor is going to be emergency protocols on the chest piece. If you want more AP and to balance it out a bit more, then you can opt for kinetic dynamo instead, especially if you want to run this full health. But over to the perk cards, we're stacked here with some great stuff, and more importantly, perks that give percentage reductions. So we've got stuff like Blocker, Fireproof, Lone Wanderer, Nerd Rage, Dodgy, Ricochet. We have quite the survivability here. And then of course I'm just using Basher because generally I rock with the Vampire Shredder minigun. But I actually have bullets here today, but that's besides the point. Legendary perks, we've got Funky Duds maxed out, Electric Absorption, which by the way doesn't state it, but it also has a chance to heal you from energy attacks, not just charge your fusion cores, which is why robots in particular have a very hard time trying to kill you. So yeah, just remember that as well, in case you didn't know. But over to Mutations, just a standard set there basically, and the weapon itself, you can rock whatever vamp weapon you want. I always go with my Vamp Shredder, but I have some ammo today, so I'll shoot it. But any vampire weapon will do you just fine. A 50 cal, a vamp flamer, any fast-firing vamp weapon, and you're good to go. So over to some super mutants, and yeah, as you can see, they're not having a good time trying to kill us here. All of those perk cards are kicking in, overeaters helping you out. The mods on the power armor, we aren't even shooting back at them with our vampire weapon, so we aren't even getting the massive benefit that gives you. But interestingly, if you are using a vampire weapon like the minigun here, if you have Ricochet, as you can see in the Pip-Boy, Vampires actually gets activated even though we aren't actively shooting, because those Ricochet bullets are hitting enemies and thus giving us healing, which is a super cool little feature. But even against a behemoth here, he's just whacking away and we just don't really care at all. Actually stopped attacking and gave up at one point, so bigger, harder hitting enemies, you can tank them easily. And again, we aren't shooting back, so if we were, then we'd be getting the healing and have even less to worry about. But tanking pretty easily here. What? Just giving up? Oh. Okay then. Well, let's just move on then. They've clearly given up. Now though, for one final test, Daily Ops Savage Strike. So Savage Strike, of course, enemies ignore 100% of your damage resistance, which is why they hit so hard in Decryption Daily Ops. And this is finally where our weapon is going to actually start helping us out. And this is also why stuff like Overeaters and the perk cards that give percentage reductions are key, because that's the only way to get damage reduction here. So they bypass all of your damage resistance numbers, but not your percentage stuff. So just letting them shoot you, they will get through your health bar if you're not actively shooting back, but compared to how things usually go here, and especially cave crickets in this situation, generally one-shot a lot of folks. But this is still quite impressive. But if you pop stuff like a medics and a health regen food, things improve even more. And you can opt for like some bobbleheads and mags as well, but we're not doing that yet. But once we actually start firing back, then our weapon finally comes into play in a major way, and Savage Strike becomes quite easy. So you're really, really tanky here, and the vamp is giving you the healing that you need. So awesome tanky build for you to just get into for some daily strikes. Strikes, this isn't Destiny Nightmare. Or some Savage Strike daily ops. And yeah, if you don't have a full set of Overeaters or enough perk points, just get yourself a good vampire's weapon, and it'll go a long way in making you tanky even without all the things I was using here. My main character, I don't have an Overeater set on, just the perk cards and the vampire's minigun, and Savage Strike is of course a little bit more challenging, and you gotta be careful, but I can still get through it quickly enough just because of the vampire's weapon and some of those perk cards. But hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, then hey, consider dropping a like and subscribing and sticking around for more Fallout content as always. Massive thank you to all the channel members. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.